Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions. What do you mean? Because I'm one of the best communers around. The Monozos,
A terrible cold comes over her.
the Transcatholia Magistral. You for one, eh? You're right.
A correct appraisal.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. Inside, you see 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. The words just crossed your mind somehow. Who do you think? It's slightly. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet. If you knew it was dunked in the toilet before getting chucked into the trash, why are you sniffing it? So you wanted to get in on the trash toilet stink collab. Find out what happens when those two get funky together? Okay, pal. Your nose is somewhere between grateful and resentful. It takes about half an hour to piece one together. AKA Leslie and Burke. AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop displaying his genitals and for Burke to stop attacking things would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability. You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition because that's where the action is. Can you keep yourself off the streets? Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street, because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. The officer is also drunk. Way more drunk than Burke there. And let's be fair, you also have party eyes. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face, then proceed to beat him unconscious with it. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who at this point is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke, who knows, but both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved, which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one? Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope. It's the ledger you found in the trash. It takes about half an hour to be. It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young and they thought they looked cool on it. Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved. No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next? Not much has changed in the meanwhile. Wasteland of reality. Congrats, you're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years though. It'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or hand claps. This is how normal people are all the time. This orange machine is dead. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Gewaltsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words, off-site copy written on its side. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker. Your stomach grumbles. The fridge is cold, the cellar dark and humid. You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it. Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs. The bear's eyes are dead. A friend, the paper still. A lorry abandoned by the smell of cigarettes enclosed. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the speaker comes to life.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident, please repeat. Is this the offsite copy? Good. Please repeat the password. No, that's...
What does she mean? That's not it. Maybe it's the second part of the leitmotif you saw on the...
Good. I've unlocked the offsite copy.
Ka-ching.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I think?
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. It sounds like something cracks. Something's broken. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. The paper is soaked with ink, its monochrome darkness spanning from margin to margin. It's not possible to make out any information. It's just black upon tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Nothing happens.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye?
barbell waits patiently. The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game. A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor. For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you ever set your mind to. Hey, but you're still in a ghost house. What if someone heard this? What if they know you're here? A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by We're Out. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular sword whip. Shelves fill to the brim with crime novels featuring the support. Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, a worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend. And could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Then this is the book for you.
Of course. Such violence and immorality.
Shelves full of... This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of fame.
Indeed. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it. I know it's just ink, but Lintel was somehow able to divine the location of the anomaly from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch!
The paper gets soaked in ink again, its evil blackness shining in the light of the mainframe. It's the abyss staring back at you. Sona doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something, for her morning star.
Here! I found it! Hold on. Shh! Just give me a second, I'm done! I've got it! I found the location of the anomaly! I found the coordinates!
She's beaming. You can feel it in your heart. Great job.
Thank you!
Time for a celebratory drink, perhaps. Just a thought.
There, in the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to double-check my calculations.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals, solving the puzzle of water bowls.
Figure it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything out. Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bowl 2 centimeters to the left and the fourth bowl 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
What? She only wants you to follow instructions. Nothing intellectually stimulating. In this task, a child could do it.
Come on. It's not about your brain. Even I couldn't figure it out on my own. Can you please just go and move the water bowls for me? Thanks.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world outside those walls. Water inside the bowls stands still. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor. It moves like a ghost without creating a single trace of sound. This task is an insult to your mental skills. Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up from across the hall. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place after all.
Yes, what is it? Great. Everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah. Nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is... Maybe I'm just tired.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well, nothing?
Because it reminds us of death. And we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary.
Death is scary. You can't just start over again. Or can you?
Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
And then nothing happens as Sona Lokanen Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing. but silence. You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary. She doesn't answer. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus, one hand cupping the headphone.
Damn it! No, of course not. Nothing happened.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
No. No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything.
Silence is silence? This can't be it. You should have a listen.
The swallow, you mean? Great. Thanks. Yes, what is it?
Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to detect. It's not ideal, no, but you need the zeal. Let's face it, you're never going to finish this case without cheating. It will make you into more than that. See? That's your problem. A lack of confidence. Speed can help you with that. You raise the bottle, close a nostril, and inhale furiously. The rush is almost immediate. It tastes bitter, and now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. You could work with this high, like literally work. Solve the case, file some papers, maybe clean up your hostel room, then solve another case, then start a side investigation into, whoa, this shit is strong. This shit is disco. To this, you kidding? There are downsides to not. There are massive downsides. It's a potent neurotoxin. Spring. Everything is clear around you.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a speed button. Speed gives +1 to motoric skills. Perception, reaction speed, hand-eye coordination, savoir-faire, interface.
Yes, what is it?
All you hear is your own breathing, heavy and hoarse, but there's something else. There has to be. Something ghosts. When was the last time this world had anything new to say?
Well, did you hear anything? Yeah. No.
Maybe the speed freaks can help you with this. Go talk with Andre.
Come on, get in. Hi again. So, how are things going? Goodbye, Hi again. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't add up. How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
But you still are.
What happened?
He doesn't know what to say. The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing. I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients. What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
No shit. Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. We are on a mission here. That's... Come on, that's... I meant to say, not true. What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
Really?
Or else...
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again, then finally raises his hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revershoal.
Because we are! We totally are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up. No, man, they're spooky all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
So, what now?
This is it. Judgment time.
Yeah!
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance. There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice crack underneath you. Outside, the last century waterfront development is crumbling in the wind. A grape-shot row of falling houses. And so is Rue de Saint-Giraud and all the houses on Main Road. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
What? Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
Yes? What's the deal? What kind of a hitch?
An audio shortfall, you say? Guess what? We got speakers with massive low end. There's a good chance it can do it.
They've got one speaker. One. Uno.
We've got some serious range on this baby. It'll blast their shoes off, believe me. Goodbye, officer.
We're close. True, hard, full car. Hardcore! Hardcore is a mega, internally coherent.
All car, all right.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore! Is it though? What is it? I mean, really? No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore. Sometimes I just feel like Nordic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last months, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? It's like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto, like it's not fully formed yet. You might be a moribund alcoholic and a failed cop, but you are pretty certain a thing cannot be both proto and hardcore.
Wow! Culture cop! I think you might be right. But how could it become hardcore then? I know it in my heart, but cannot think it in my head.
If this is not hardcore, how could anything be? What? Guys, there's something happening in his head.
As your mind works, the beat recedes from your ears. You hear your own blood pulsing through your head, nourishing your thoughts with oxygen. The rhythm is familiar.
Oh yeah! He's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason. The abstract shapes swelling in the foreground have done so in vain. This is a core matter. The answer, in the double kick that moves the milliliters through your mind. The dark thud is the source of all rhythm, the hardcore.
I know! So does mine!
But there's something else that hasn't failed you.
No! This is the answer! Uh-huh! Oh! Yeah! No nation, but transnation! No war, but class war!
He's not a communist. It's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the Elysium.
Yeah! With a rebel yell!
Don't be a lunatic.
So, it's not this one.
Yeah! Revolution imperative!
Unless you were thinking Revolution imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with eggs yelling. I know what you mean.
Hardcore superstar! I can be a communist! If you want that, do you want me to be a communist?
Please don't turn him into a communist.
Oh yeah! Turn him into a communist, come on! It would be super! I can be an ultra! If you want that!
Please don't turn him into an ultra-liberal.
Oh jeez! Please don't do that! There's enough exploitation in the world. Aye! Oh sure! I can do that!
Please don't turn him into a moralist.
I don't even know what to say to that. Aye! Yeah! Dark hardcore! Jermaine Egghead! Basically, yes it is. Lungs are for love! Love! In a woman's lungs! Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on.
A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipating into your neck.
All right.
The large...
Good morning! Yeah!
No, that would be silly. Your body isn't for thinking. It's for robust, wholesome think.
Huh?
This young speed freak seems to know a lot about signs. Could he be the techno tinkerer you're looking for? His look is intensely suspicious. The large...
Good morning! Yeah!
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every caudate animal.
What? Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from? I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy.
He feels ashamed he can't be of more service to the future of dance music. The young man falls silent with appreciation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it.
Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell.
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons blowing in the wind.
Oh, I know! I know this! I can tell you where it is!
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags in the industrial harbour. It's got the lanterns and the...
I knew that!
And the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now.
Does it?
Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman! Tape! Yeah! Spins the tape until the space escape! Yeah! Yeah!
Huh? I see you're here again. Offside, man. Did I mention... Huh? I see you're here again. Offside, man. Don't think so. Big bad frequencies are extremely negative. Fault suppression, dream implantation, memory revision. Pretty out there stuff. Not sure I want to get involved with it.
There is fear there, but also curiosity. He just needs a reason to help you.
Besides, our own signs aren't even synced yet. So how am I supposed to get you synced up with a big bad?
The large head.
Good morning! Yeah!
Hi again. So, how things go?
Yes? What's the deal? But do let us know if something changes in the church. Goodbye, officer.
Hello again. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much. You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I know. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them? Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes. It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
A better sound system? All right, but where would we get one?
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
You mean the Speed Freaks? Of course, the Speed Freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Brilliant negotiating there, detective, as always.
Sure, let me know how it goes.
Hi again. So, how things... Yes? We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of anodic dance music. That's fine. We can manage. And you're still sure about keeping our little side business, right? Fine. We can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000!
Ecstatic vibrations. Totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too.
Now, the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honours, detective?
The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
Andre's overthinking it.
Yes, you should do it, detective.
Lloyd's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
How about something simple? Like the club?
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true.
Yakukata! Yakukata! The place to be!
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, eh?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the sea.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia!
It's not amnesia, guys.
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
You have? Well, what's the name?
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten?
The past is the future, but the future is dead!
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience. It feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
I'm dancing!
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
Yes, my man!
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves? Audio waves thump against your ribcage. The speaker setup makes everything sound much better. But there's a noticeable lack of something.
Goodbye, officer.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Of course it is. Otherwise, I'd just be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes. Or because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together before it leaves me. I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20. Not 20. Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway.
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by battles lost. If you up the dose and truly dance. Salvation.
Goodbye.
What is it?
What? What did you say? I can't hear you! The music is too loud! Oh, the project! It's not going well! There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers. He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore! Thanks! Let me know how it goes!
It's true. The drug fiends have made themselves quite comfortable. If you're desperate for collaborators now, I suggest you ask your new friends.
Glorian Church, the place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
Vibrations thump through your blue soul. The music sounds much better in the church. A hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, tangled in its branches, something bronze flutters in the wind. He stands on stage behind a table. The other real deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither. On one side, you see an auxiliary line in with...
Yeah! The first page of the second chapter!
Could it be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you.
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary. What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5? Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah.
Oh God, you're going to be...
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here. Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
Whoa, thank God.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up.
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the Arno for just a sec. For a special scheduled event. The Arno will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment.
Yes, what is it? Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit?
Maximum! Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless. Of course it is.
Yeah!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air.
Born ready. Ready.
I'm ready if you are, Detective.
Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large. There's tightness in your chest. Anxiety.
What? No, we should definitely do this. I am going to do this. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
No wind outside. No waves. No floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on? It's getting louder.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. He's peaking. The worst high he's ever been on.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to us! Love!
Below it, all the bass grows, like the jaws of a giant compressor gnawing on metal and wood. It does not sound benevolent at all. It's shaking the building's foundation.
That's it. I'm muting it. Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
Yes! Shut it off! Andre, pull the compressor! The place is gonna come down!
Fuck! I can't shut it up! The signal's passed! It's not in here!
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters some, and then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically, I have no idea.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway. Stay here! I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Yes, what is it?
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago, these thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light, drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend and a woman. She was there too. Her hair smelled of shampoo and she was smoking.
What? But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
That comforts her. She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you. You have her full, undivided attention.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
Then the Pale is... But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here and the Pale is not. I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world. According to this, how long... And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects?
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here?
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them. You mean Plaisance and the Dice Maker? There was almost no one left when we packed up. Then go tell them. Of course! A pinewood sarcophagus, or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers. I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
Yes, it is...
She falls silent.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest... Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but, you know... Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
What is there to add to that? Nothing. The creepy woman! We were wondering about that when we worked there. But I had completely forgotten about it ever since. It must be anthroponetic crosstalk, the one you get in radios and long-distance calls. It's quite common, actually. When the signal gets routed through Pale, all kinds of irregularities take place. You may hear snippets of someone else's conversation, or the voice of your former lover, or an echo of an event that took place 100 years ago. Pale is a shroud of memories, and it doesn't really distinguish to any time. You're asking me to circuit bend onto coalition radio frequencies. You want to know, is it possible? Probably. But is it a good idea? I'm not so sure. The main difficulty will be finding an antenna powerful enough to reach those frequencies. Unfortunately, you can't exactly buy mega long-wave antennas off the shelf. I highly doubt it. That tower is barely able to transmit shortwave signals across the bay. To generate mega low frequencies,
She has an idea, though.
I don't see any alternative. We're just going to have to build the antenna ourselves. Yes, from a technical view, it's not even difficult. The difficult part will be finding the right location. We need metal, a lot of it. The taller the structure, the better. Something that is both prominent and easily accessible. If it's near a power source... Yes, what is it?
Close your eyes. Unfold your mental map of Martinez. It's morning. The wind pushes a piece of tear across the cracked tiles. From the north comes the malicious laughter of 2 children. Your eye follows the tiles west. You see a bench and a few twisted, pitiful trees. Then, just water. From behind you, a low, spectral voice. Beyond the unkempt backyard rises a monstrous assemblage of concrete, plaster, and corrugated sheet metal. The voice again, more urgent now. Nay, just a moment. That voice isn't human, and it's not saying nay. It's saying nay. You turn around. The morning sun is blinding. You bring your hand to your brow, and a great shadow materializes before you. A towering beast, frozen in mid-air.
The dead king and his horse. It could work.
It may work, you think, but why do you feel like there may be a terrible cost?
We'll need an adequate power supply and a great quantity of cable. If we connect the cables to some of the stranded lorries, we could theoretically increase the antenna's wavelength exponentially.
Whatever ambivalence she had about your project before, she's now fully engaged in solving this technical puzzle.
It's completely ridiculous, but I believe we could transform the entire roundabout into one solid fractal antenna.
A note of awe in her voice. She's shocked and pleased by her own audacity.
Your sense of style isn't my concern. I'm only here to tell you what's feasible or not. I have plenty of cables and amplifiers on hand. The power supply, I will secure on my own. All we require now is the radio transceiver itself. I cannot answer that for you, but I don't expect it to be that difficult. If you have real to spare, you might even be able to buy one. But it doesn't really matter where it comes from, so long as it works. Absolutely not, certainly. Though it requires a fair amount of technical finesse to remove them. Frankly, it's not worth the bother. Just find a regular radio. That sounds like a perfectly adequate radio. Possibly. In the meantime, I will gather the rest of...
She's whistling a melody.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. Like you're underwater, you know? But like, underwater inside a tree. And no, it's got nothing to do with Contact Mike. No. I actually wanted to thank you for getting me and my friends in here. Good, I think. Noid is getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Egghead's been keeping the party up. He's got the stage under control. Sorna, the programmer, she's doing whatever she does. Sure, you helped us out. I can repay the favour. Oh, she's a bit odd, I have to say. Doesn't talk much. I'm not really sure how to vibe with her, you know? Seems like she's not in a very good mood most of the time. But earlier today she told me about Welkins. And she seemed oddly happy, like she had some idea with those little creatures. Some artistic idea. I didn't really listen, I was busy with my mic. Oh, the crab man. Still gives me the creeps the way he moves. But he doesn't actually come down that much, I just tried to stay away from the crab man. But he talks to Noid. They seem to have some thing going on. Beats me. Noid said they get along somehow. They're both crazy enough, I guess. Who knows? He doesn't really answer our questions. Who do you want to know about? Andre? He's a cool guy. Doesn't really come off as one, but he is. To me, at least. He takes care of shit. Sorry. I mean, he's got a vision. For what life should be, you know? He tries to push things until everything falls into place. He's an organiser. Nothing. But then again, there's nothing to organise around here either. He really wants this church thing to work. Must have taken it as a sign when he found it abandoned like that. Said it was an augury. I don't know where he got that from. Andre's not super intelligent. I've never seen him so psyched about anything though. And he's often psyched. Looks sort of desperate, like it's his last chance or something. I mean, not that he does drugs, just Hi, you know. Yes. Anyway, yes. Who do you want to know about? He's a four-burger, I guess, like the rest of us. Okay, maybe not Egg, I don't know about him, but Noid and the rest are from Forberg, making the pilgrimage up north to visit the Elysium. He's real hardcore about the lifestyle. What do you mean, do? Like, for a living? He's a carpenter, trained and all. He's very good, he just doesn't have the mindset to work like that, in a shop somewhere. He abides by the hardcore, sir. You would have to ask him yourself. Sir, I abide by the law.
A strange feeling. Every now and then, something feels off about the way she speaks. She doesn't change tone, but you feel as though there's more about her than she lets on.
It's just something poor Forberg kids do every spring. To pass the time, we walk the entire length of Boogie Street, up to Jamrock, or as much as possible. I don't know, man. Have you been down Boogie Street? It's a little bewildering. Okay, then you should go and take a look, I guess. Boogie Street is cool. It's got a lot of immigrants and all kinds of different people. Yeah. Who do you want to know about? What do you mean? Oh, that. He's the party boy. And Nordic music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That's to say they're a bit backward. No offence if you like rock music though. Rock music's cool by me.
Pachoo, swish. Your credentials as the resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Show her you're hip with the times, Gramps.
Anyway, even if you don't have vocals, you still need someone to say something every now and then, right? To urge things on. He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything is. It's very catchy. Actually, we don't know where he's from. One time we were out partying somewhere in backwater Forberg. Or maybe even Coal City.
The worst of the Banlieues. A wretched heap of closed-down mines, even west of Jamrock, on the dusty slope of Montmartin, the remotest possible area of Revachol. No one even wants to exploit those people anymore.
Egg was yelling along to some jam someone was spinning, all night long. Just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. When the sun came up over the mines, Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog sound all the way back. It was definitely Coal City, because it took us 2 days to walk back to the fort. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked why he came with us, or who he was. I think his name is Jermaine. People are sweet.
You can see it must have been a great night. The memory causes her to go silent for a moment or two.
Oh, that. He's the party boy. And not it.
Pachoo, swish. Your credentials.
Anyway, he basically just. Who do you want to know about? Me? Again? I told you, I'm a silver bird.
There's that phrase again. Really reminds you of something.
It means I don't answer questions about myself. All right. There is. Thank you. Sure. Welcome back.
The silver bird has already flown away.
Welcome back.
O pasaro de agint. It flutters by your ear. It's what the Zemoyaki, the Gradian community in Revachol, call a person who never breaks under interrogation. It's an organized crime term.
Excuse me?
She's attempting to remain calm,
What do you mean? All right. My father was a Zemyaki. He died years ago. He was a bad man. Not a lot of good things to say about him and what he did. He bought the family a huge house, so we got to live, at least temporarily, in a giant castle in Jamrock. What do you think? The competition came and took everything away. It was like in a war zone. So after his death, we had nothing left, and we were in danger. My mother had to change her name, mine too. We left it all behind. It was a stupid idea, and I'm still disappointed I came up with it. Yeah, kinda. I'm the head of the operation. Coordinated it with the débardeurs, else they might get unhappy. Not in person, but I'll let them know. You can't do anything without the fat ones getting wind. It wasn't too difficult to convince them, really. It's a good thing you ended that mess, though. I felt I was turning Dadwise into a corrupt business person.
Hear that? Set justice on its feet. Confront Everard. Come on, this is all fine. But you don't have anything on Everard now. That's not how these things work.
That's not going to lead anywhere with Everard. He'll just deny everything. I mean, have you seen the guy?
Got us in.
With wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority. But you really came through for the hardcore underground. What's on your mind? It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more. I don't say much anything as a carpenter anymore. They tried to make me into a reckoner and a leveller. Made me a bit manic, you know. I regret the time I dedicated to that profession and that worker collective. I say things more as a member of the hardcore side dance. Why? You're a cop, that's right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it, on the coast here. Was one of the first things they did, alone on an uninhabited archipelago. Forced to face themselves and nature. Pre-industrial quantities of solitude. You see...
He means something paranatural.
I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well. Maybe they were unable to face the nature of the world. A cop who's into building critique. Okay then, this is folk DeLoreanism, lawmongerer. It's a subset of early DeLorean architecture. Art of core. Total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is DeLoreanism. This is just an homespun version of it. Folksy stuff. Early mass production. They made thousands like this. Does that help you out? Like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white, a false image of grandeur. The source of the system is up there. You're at the bottom. They really dug that power vertical. Like to show off large and intricate structures. Arches, spires. Put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know. Married shit. Virtue and tyranny. Right. Stands to reason it used to be white on the outside before the sea wind took all the paint off.
Year after year, flake after flake, slowly peeled by the wind. It was probably white and gold with light red flower motifs. Part of you, assumed to be lost to nerve damage, knows this style to be Ubi DeLoreanism.
Good catch, Art Cop. The herdsmen of the Ubi Sunt Islands come here on the first boats. Their flowery version of DeLoreanism could be what we're standing in.
The Ubi are known for their partiality to socialism and sheep. They come from an island called Ubi Sunt, drifting in the Pale off the coast of Vespa. It's the only place in the world that has a question mark in its name. Things are not well there. It's an island of poverty, an anthropogenetic collapse.
Dead bodies of perennial plants. Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, Cop Man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away. They had sensed that she could no longer see them and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and hard bass is needed to reanimate it. A Sarais man who lived a long time ago, an ancient hardcore brother. A 3,000-year-old tyrannical regime of history, built and maintained by hundreds of generations of self-appointed intellectuals. It's false core.
The way he says it, the force in false core, is invested with 20 kilotons of disgust.
I only said unity. One word. Figures of authority always misquote you. Andre doesn't care about the Ecclesiastes. He just wants the operation to run smoothly. And Egg is a demi-beast. You shouldn't listen to what people say. You should listen to what they are. But were you wrong? The founding party is okay with everything. Look around. They don't have enough love for the human crew to oppose anything anymore.
That's still a lie. Reassert yourself. Mewling wimp. Pathetic.
Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And yes, I do.
You know what this kind of stuff goes well with.
Only a little. It's a necessity. All large human gatherings are narcotic. It's just the way of the spinal cord. I don't. Fucker giving me the evil eye. I didn't know it was in here. We have to get rid of it. Dismantle it. Can't dance with a giant mass murderer looking at ya. Not a good look for the club.
Mellow, man, mellow. No one's a mass murderer. This is a house of love.
Mass murder on the floor!
Humanism leads to eating sugar and pigs. Humanism was invented to mass produce billions of humans. Billions of humans can mass produce hundreds of billions of pigs.
And many, many more tons of sugar.
She liked games. Her legacy, the thing we live in, isn't real life. It's a strategy for some kind of victory against a long dead opponent. But, yo, I'm only annoyed. What do I know? I like this question, Cop Man. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who's playing a game. The life of an operator. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that. Well, they loved her. They put all their love in her and forgot all about the rest of us. The world spirit does not have a body. It has organs. Hardcore is an organ of the world spirit. This Arno van Eyck track is an organ. The carpentry and glass cutting that built this house are also organs.
What a strange choice of words. Caustic, overflowing with negativity. That can't be healthy. What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window? Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't come back to this anymore. Stop talking about it, please.
The mass murderer? Why? There is.
No, that's not it. It's something more. Something closer to your skin. The speed freak's eyes narrow with suspicion.
It's not coming down. People are gonna love it. It'll be like our thing.
Okay. Hard to say, Cop Man. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the Crabman though. Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us. Have you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is hardcore, man. And the mother's love is the hardest core of all. The man picks up on stuff, and he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him. Good thing you didn't squash him. The Crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus. Not like a literal sarcophagus. Encasement, confinement, of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the Crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church, surrounding it, to contain it. I don't know, and it's not something they properly understood either, or it does, but it's what this Sona person is looking for. It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by. Outside, dust particles fall through the darkness, settling down on the age-bleached floorboards. The structure does not feel particularly durable.
No, it's pretty fucking unsound if you ask me. They should have built a club for Anodic music around it instead. Anodic music will definitely contain whatever we're dealing with. And if it can't, well... Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like substance. Like a concentric ring spreading out. The struggling villages. And that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah. A lot of failure has gone down around here. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's not a thing we can answer, Cop Man. Even I have limits. I'm a limited-size person. Maybe you can figure things out, Cop Man. Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our science synced. It's short for paranoid. A reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analysed the situation. It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives.
This is a good, dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on.
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around.
No, politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory, but I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid. Mental illness is a term the powers use to homogenise people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill, a suspicious element. I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray, far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back.
Whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of this mythology.
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves. Yes, having food is means to an end, but the left never talks about the end, only the means. Caps are likewise suckers, constantly sleepless in worry.
His eyes flicker.
A life is true if it's free from fear, an eternal division among oneself. In others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, a return to trueness. It will be hardcore. Beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure. An hard enough beat would awaken everyone to a truer calling. In unity.
Just like that. The speed freak is right in your face. His eyes burning. The young man is dead serious about this. Rejection of the right-left axis. Emphasis on unity.
Nationalism, militarism, racism, and emphasis on a leader character are totally absent in hardcore.
He picks up a wrench and scratches his head with it, unaroused by fascism.
Utmost dedication. Thoughts from the spinal cord is a potent superlative as well.
The term also signifies certain varieties of pornography that depict penetration.
Egghead usually has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore.
Hardcore!
Happy to help. Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true hardcore life. Oh yeah, sure thing. They're hardcore. They're just clothes. It's just a style, you know, normal hard style. Anyone can wear it.
Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. You need your own entry. Make it. Test your limits. Surpass them. Dance till you drop. dance till you die, if you must. Jumping around, as this sort of music requires, is actually a taxing physical activity and should be dignified with a sports suit. You might as well make it complete with a whistle then.
Dead body, spirit entered. What is there to talk of? Sure.
An old door worn by elements. Just dead and poor things. The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. There's no echo. Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer. A few locusts, poor things. The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts, most of the poor things. trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. Poor things. The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape, just like promised. You've stood here for what seems like eons, guzzling the sickly fumes of lorries and carriages. Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. You tree-hugging pansy. The bronze ribbon twists around and within the branches in an intricately natural pattern. But there's something. There's a twisted logic in this mess. You see the ends of the ribbon, the way it flows, how it twists with slow and deliberate motions. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help you with this.
Hello again. How can I help you? You mean Reese Pooley? Yeah, I do, but I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker.
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
Huh? What do you mean? Yes, what about it? Is it any good? The music, I mean. Man, you're really invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out.
You take some time to look around the store. You know these visuals would look super cool in the church.
Yeah, I bet they would. All those lights in a massive church hall. A sanctuary filled with hand-picked positive photons. There would be no room for sadness in...
There's a but, isn't there?
I rather like it here, too. So yeah, I'm not giving you my projector.
Looks like he really means it. There's no way to turn this around, I'm afraid.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll do what I can for true passion projects. A transceiver, is it?
He produces a machine encased in a blue bakelite shell.
A Crystal Sprack Model 9. The Model 9 also comes equipped with a signal purifier to suppress crosstalk. Especially good around here with our funky reception. It's about as close to perfection as a transceiver gets. And we're only asking 100. You'll be back again. I've got a feeling. Hello again. How can I help you?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrrolidon. It's tough to come by on the street. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster. Had to take Pyrrolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance, a primitive nuclear reactor. Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out. An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
I like the theory more than the story.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.